I'm Jacy from Craft Life, and I'm here today to teach you how to make what you've all been waiting for, the phone case. My version of the phone case fits most phones. It fits the Android phone. Even though it's a little bit small, you can smush your sides to make it fit. And it fits. It also fits the iPhones. And this is the iPhone 5, so it fits the iPhone 5. And it fits all the older versions. This is why it took so long. So this is my first product. It wasn't thick enough, but you can also do the rainbow design, but this one was not my favorite. I also have this one. I like this one, but I didn't like how the ends turned out. And then it came to this one, and this was my final product. The supplies you will need are 2 looms, but you will need to take your rows apart, your Rainbow Loom hook or a crochet hook, and a lot of rubber bands. I'm using 2 colors, white and black, and you'll need a lot of them. Please get your supplies and get ready for step 1. This is step 1. You will need all your looms taken apart and all your blue pieces. To start, we're going to take 2 pegs and we're going to flip them around so that the arrow is pointing away from you. You're going to count 3 pegs and lay a blue piece, your big blue piece, and push this down. Now do the same for the other side. Make it even and push them down. Now we're going to take a small blue piece and we're going to stick it on the side. Now you're going to take another small blue piece and stick it on the other side and push these down. Now take another row and lay it so that the arrows are pointing away from you and push it down. Now lay another row so that the arrows are pointing towards you down there. Now turn your loom around and we're going to do our other side. So take these 2, your last 2, take your blue piece, count 3 pegs and lay it down. Then count 3 pegs and lay it down. And make sure these are even. Now take your small blue piece, lay it on the end and push it down, and lay it on the other end and push it down. And now we can finish this off by laying these 2 rows down. So push all of your rows down. And your looms are ready to go. This is step 2. Please make sure your looms are set up like this, and you will need your Rainbow Loom hook or your crochet hook and your first color of rubber bands. Before we start, I want to show you the design of the phone case. I started and then I did 6 rows of this color, 5 rows, 5 rows, 5 rows, and 3 rows at the top. You can do yours all one color or whatever pattern you want to use. This thing at the top is for hanging charms on your phone case. I left mine because I want to hang a charm on it. So to start, we're going to take 1 rubber band. We're going to start at this end, and we're going to double loop this rubber band on both of these pegs and push it down. Then we're going to take our Rainbow Loom hook. We're going to stick it in from under. You're going to grab a rubber band, pull this through, and put it back on. Then take another rubber band, pull this through, and put it back on. What you want to do is count all your sides from here all the way down. I have 11 pegs, so I'm going to multiply that by 2, which is 22, and then you're going to add 1 for an extra rubber band at the end. That's how many rubber bands you will need. I'm using 23. So I'm going to count out 23 rubber bands and use these. So I have 2 here, then I'm going to do another one. So pull this through and put it back on. Then take another rubber band, put it on your hook, pull this through, and put it back on. Now take another rubber band, put it on your hook, pull this through, and put it back on. Continue this for all your rubber bands. I finished my row of 23 rubber bands. I got 23 by counting my pegs all down the side, and I have 11, and I multiplied that by 2 and added 1, which is 23. Now I'm going to end it by stretching out that last rubber band and placing it on these 2 end pegs. And push that all the way down. Now we're going to go back to this side. You're going to skip 1 from the end, stick your hook in, and grab a rubber band. Put it on your hook, pull this through, and put it back on. Now you're going to hold down your row and bring these all the way to this corner. Now stick your hook in the same loop and grab a rubber band, put it on your hook, and pull this through and put it back on. And now stretch it out to this corner and push these down. Now we're going to skip a rubber band. Now stick your hook in, grab a rubber band, pull this through, and put it back on. Hold your row and stretch this out to your next peg. So go down to this one and put it on. Stick your hook in the same loop, grab another rubber band, put this on your hook, pull this through and put it back on, and stretch it out to your next peg. Now push these down. Now skip a rubber band, stick your hook in, grab a rubber band, put it on your hook, pull this through, and put it back on. Hold your row down and put it on your peg. Stick your hook in the same loop, grab another rubber band, place it on your hook, pull this through, and put it back on. Now stretch it out to this side. Now skip a rubber band, stick your hook in, grab a rubber band, place it on your peg, pull this through, and then put it back on. Now hold your row down and stretch these out to this peg. Now stick your hook in that same loop, grab a rubber band, pull this through, and put it back on, and stretch it over to this peg. Now continue this until this peg, and I'll be right back and I'm going to finish mine. Yours should look like this. You should skip a rubber band every time, and now we're on our last peg. If your loom feels like it's gonna fall apart, you want to keep pushing all your pegs down onto your blue pieces, because you don't want it falling apart in the middle of your project. Now we're going to go to our last peg and skip a rubber band from the last loop we just did. Stick our hook in, grab a rubber band, pull this through, and put it back on. Now stretch this out to our last peg and stick your hook back in that loop. Grab a rubber band, pull this through, and put it back on. And stretch this side out to your last peg. Now we have finished our bottom, and now we're going to start our other bottom section. I'm going to do 2 rows with you, and then you're going to do 4 on your own. So to start, we're going to go to this corner. Your arrow should be pointing towards you, and we're going to go to the side. So lay one here, then lay one here, and go here. We're going to lay it all the way around the loom. So keep going up with 1 rubber band each time. So keep going up. 1 more. Keep going until you reach your corner. Now, when you reach your corner, you should turn, then go sideways, now turn your loom around so that the arrow is pointing away from you on the side, and we're going to go down. So go all the way down. And when you get to the end, you're going to lift up this rubber band, place this one down, and then place that one back down. Now turn your loom around again. And this is the tricky part. We're going to grab our bottom 2 rubber bands from our bottom section and pull these over the top over all of our rubber bands. Now we're going to take these 2 bottom over the top of both of these pegs. Now take this bottom section over the top and go back to this side. What you want to do, there's 2 ways to do this. You can either stick your hook in downward and grab it over, but I like to stick my hook in and grab it upward and pull it over and push these loops down. Now grab these 2 bottom over the top, then these 2 bottom over the top, these 2 bottom over the top, push these down. Remember, keep pushing your looms down. Now take these 2 bottom over the top, these 2 bottom over the top, these 2 bottom over the top, these 2 over the top, and these 2 over the top. Now push this row down and turn your loom around so that these arrows are pointing towards you. Now grab your bottom loop here, pull this over the top, then grab your other bottom loop over the top and push this down. Now we're going to go back to our side, grab these 2 bottom over the top, these 2 bottom over the top, push these down, push your looms down. Now go back, grab these 2 bottom over the top, 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 push these down, take these 2 bottom over the top, these 2 over the top, these 2 over the top, and these 2. Now push all of your loops down, and it should look like this. Now turn your loom back around so that this row, its arrow is pointing towards you. Now we're going to start hooking. Hooray! So we're going to take this bottom rubber band over the top and onto the peg in front of it. You want to pull your loops so that you can find your bottom, and pull your bottom over the top. Pull your loops and grab your bottom over the top. Pull your loops, grab your bottom over the top. Grab your loops, pull your bottoms over the top, and grab your loops and pull your bottom over the top. Continue this. Grab your loops, pull your bottom over the top. Grab your loop, pull your bottom over the top. Grab your loop, pull your bottom over the top. And grab your loops and pull your bottom over the top. Now this one's easy. You can just stick your hook in and grab your bottom over the top. Now turn your loom around. And we're going to pull your bottom loop down and grab your bottom loop over the top. Then stick your hook in and grab your bottom loop over the top. Now you're going to do this row. So take your bottom loop over the top, pull your loops down, grab your bottom loop over the top, pull your loops, grab your bottom over the top, grab your loops, pull your bottom over the top, grab your loops, pull your bottom over the top, and keep grabbing your loops and pulling the bottom over the top. Grab them and pull it over the top. Grab them, pull it over the top. Then stick your hook in and pull it over the top. Now you can just grab this bottom rubber band over the top and grab this one. And you're done with your first row. Now turn your loom around again so that this row is pointing towards you. And we're going to lay rubber bands again. So we're going to go around. So lay one here and go around. Now lay these down. I'm going to go faster, but if I go too fast for you, please pause the video and press play when you are ready. So keep laying your rubber bands down all the way around. When you get to your corner, turn your loom and go sideways. Now turn your loom around so that these arrows are pointing away from you, and go down. Keep going and you're almost there. And when you get to the end, pull this rubber band up and lay this one down and put this one back down. Now we're going to grab our bottom loops over the top. So we're going to grab our last row, grab their loops over the top, grab their loops over the top, push these down, grab your loops over the top, grab your loops over the top, grab your loops over the top. It's time to push your looms down. So push them down. And then grab your loops over the top and keep going. Grabbing your bottom loops over the top. And this is also called bringing your rows down. Now turn your loom around so that these arrows are pointing towards you, and grab your bottom loops over the top. Push these down and keep going. Time to push our looms down. So push these down again. Now grab your bottom loops over the top and grab your bottom loops over the top. Now push these down. Turn your looms around so that this row's arrow is pointing towards you. And we're going to start hooking. So pull your bottom loop over the top, pull your loops, grab the bottom one over the top, pull your loops, pull the bottom one over the top, pull your loops, grab the bottom one over the top, and keep going till the end. Keep pulling your loops over the top. Now turn your loom around. Stick your hook in. Grab your bottom over the top and keep going all the way around. Turn your looms around. And we have finally finished 2 rows. Now push your looms down again. And please continue this for 4 more rows. I've just finished my 6 rows, and you should have 2. So to count your rows, you can either count your big openings or your groups of rubber bands. So these thick rubber bands. So to count these, you would go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And for the openings, you can pull out your rows. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Now I'm going to start my sides on this side, and from my sides I'm going to do 2 rows with you, and you will have to do 12 rows on your own. But you can do whatever pattern you want, but your rows have to equal 14. So to start, we're going to turn our loom so that the arrows are pointing that way, and we're going to count 3 pegs on each side. So go 1, 2, 3, and then you're going to start on this peg next to it. So on your 4th peg, take these rows off. But make sure you have hooked it all the way around first. So pull these off, then pull these off, pull these off, count 3 on this side, pull these off, and pull these off. And once again, make sure you have hooked through all of these. Now we're going to start laying our rubber bands. I'm going to start immediately with my next color. So you're going to go around all the way. So keep going around, laying one rubber band each time. From here to here, here. Now go this way. Keep going. And remember to keep pushing your looms down. Now, come down. Now we're going to take our hook and we're going to take our bottom rows over the top on all of our pegs. Like we did in our bottom section, we're just going to keep going all the way around, taking our bottom rows over the top. It's easy for me because I switched to a different color, so I'm just going to take my blacks over the top. I'm going to turn my loom around. Now grab it from the sides. Push your rubber bands down and keep going. Now we're going to hook our rubber bands. So to start, we're going to take one rubber band and twist it on this peg 4 times. And we're going to do it 4 times so that it does not show in your phone case. And turn your loom around so that this arrow is pointing towards you. You're going to stick your hook in, grab your bottom white, you're all those 4 loops over the top, and grab your bottom over the top on all of these. Turn your loom around, stick your hook in, grab your bottom over the top, you can pull your loops down to get to your bottom and pull it over the top on every peg. Now turn your loom. Now turn your loom all the way around and go to your last peg. Now we can start laying rubber bands again. So push these down and we're going to take our rubber bands and go around. So do what you did on your last row and keep going around. Sorry if I'm going too fast for you. You can pause the video and press play when you are ready. And now go to the side. Now you're going to take your bottom row over the top. So let's start on this side. We're going to grab these over the top and grab these over the top. Then grab these. Turn your loom around. Grab these. And now, when you get to this one, you want to take all 4 loops over the top. You can do them either one at a time or all at once, but you don't want to break any rubber bands, so be careful with that. Push these down. Time to push your looms down, so just push them down. Turn your loom around and keep taking your bottom loops over the top. Now that we have finished this, we're going to hook our rubber bands. So turn your loom around so that this arrow is pointing towards you. Grab a rubber band and twist it around this peg 4 times. Now stick your hook in, grab your bottom white through all of those rubber bands and put it on the peg in front of it. Grab your bottoms over the top, turn your loom around, grab your bottom over the top, grab your bottom over the top, grab your bottom over the top. Now pull your loops down, grab your bottom over the top, pull your loops down, grab it, pull your loops down, and continue this all the way around. Now turn your loom around. Now we have finished 2 rows of our sides. You are going to continue this for 12 more rows so that we have a total of 14. And remember, you can do any patterns you would like, but your rows have to add up to 14. I'll be right back. I'm going to finish mine. I finished my 14th row and it is hooked and ready to be brought down. We're now going to start the top. I'm going to do 1 row with you, and then you're going to do 3 rows by yourself. If you get stuck and you need help, you can always go back to the beginning of my video where I show you how to go all the way around. So to start, we're going to make sure our arrow on this peg is pointing towards us. And we're going to take our rubber bands and go all the way around, just like I did in the beginning. So lay your rubber bands and go around. Even though you don't have any rubber bands on these, you're going to start it. So keep going around. Now keep going down. And on your last row, or your last rubber band, you're going to lift this one up, lay this one down, and put it back on. Now you're going to take all your bottom rows, for me it's the white rubber bands, over the top. So continue to bring your rows down. Push these down. Now do this side. And you have no rows to hook over on these, so we're just going to skip to the other ones that we do have rows. We're going to take all 4 of those loops, and my loom is starting to come apart, so push yours down and continue to take your 4 loops over. And keep going. Now you're going to hook it all the way around, starting from here, and go all the way around. I'm going to go quick, but you can always go back to the beginning where I show you how to do it all the way around. So keep grabbing your bottom over the top. And once you get to this one, you have 2 rubber bands, so you're going to grab your bottom over the top and keep going around. Keep grabbing your bottom over the top. And we have finished our first top row. Continue this for 3 more rows, and if you get stuck, you can always go back to the beginning of my video where I show you how to do it all the way around. I've just finished my 4 top rows. We did 1 together, and you should have done 3 by yourself. And these are the 4 rows we just did, the 4 top. And now we're going to take it off. So you should have your 4th row all hooked, and it should be ready to come off. So on that last peg that you have your 2 end rubber bands, you're going to stick your hook in through both of those loops, grab a rubber band, pull it through, and put it back on. Now you can pull 1 loop through the other and make like a slip knot. Then you're going to just gently take off your loops all the way down. We're helping our loops off because we don't want them to break. Now you have this slip knot at the top. For hanging charms on it, you can either leave it, or you can cut it off, tie it and cut it off. But you can fix it up and you have your phone case. This is what it looks like when it's done. And remember, you can attach charms or whatever you would like to attach to this loop. Or you can just tie a knot and cut it off. So now you all know why it took me so long to make the phone case. It's a very long process. I hope you enjoyed the tutorial on how to make a Rainbow Loom phone case. You can find me on Instagram at CraftLifeUSA. And don't forget to like us on Facebook, pin it on Pinterest, and subscribe right here on YouTube. I hope you live in a craft life just like me. Thanks for watching. Bye!